Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining our Dharma talk this evening. The GuanYin Qi, how's it going? Any feedback, any questions, problems? Okay, if not, then let's continue with Master Shinhua's GuanYin Qi instruction. Yes, JMT.
네, 안소민님 후배 정지은님으로부터 온 질문입니다. 첫 번째 질문, 결과부자 한 지 2주 조금 지났는데 1시간에서 30분 편차가 컸습니다. 결과부자 시 요추와 천골 관절부가 구부정하게 앉으면 1시간까지 버틸 수 있고 요천 관절을 바로 펴는 자세를 유지하려고 하면 통증이 빠르고 강하게 와서 30분 버티기가 힘들었습니다. 제가 궁금한 것은 바른 자세로 30분 하는 것이 맞는지 좀 구부정해도 오래 앉는 것이 좋은지입니다. 두 번째 질문. 지난 토요일은 영화스님 선 명상 때 1시간 그리고 이후 법문 시간과 예불에 30분씩 해서 총 2시간 정도 결과부자를 했는데 이날 자는데 욱신거리면서 아파서 무리가 된 건가 하는 생각이 들었습니다. 그동안은 하루 한 번 오전에 1시간 정도 결과부자를 했었습니다. 아직 시작한 지 얼마 안 돼서 무리하지 말고 1시간 정도만 하면 될지 1시간 안고 시간이 되는 두 번째 질문. 지난 토요일은 영화스님 선 명상 때 1시간 그리고 이후 법문 시간과 예불에 30분씩 해서 토탈 2시간 정도 결과부자를 했는데 이날 자는데 욱신거리면서 아파서 무리가 됐나 하는 생각이 들었습니다. 그동안 하루에 한 번 오전에 1시간 정도 결과부자를 했었습니다. 아직 시작한 지 얼마 안 돼서 무리하지 말고 1시간 정도만 하면 될지 1시간 앉고 시간이 되는 대로 잠깐이라도 더 앉는 게 좋은지 궁금합니다.
Master, I have two questions. First one, it's about sitting in full lotus. About 2 weeks ago, I was able to sit about 1 hour, but only problem is I wasn't able to sit in full lotus properly. I need to fold my legs, and then when I do that position, I was able to sit 1 hour. If I do the proper position, I could sit up to the 30 minutes. And the second one is last Saturday with Master during the Chan Master, I was able to sit for 1 hour. And then during the Dharma talk and then ceremony, I was able to sit 1 more hours. So I was able to sit 2 hours altogether for that day. But that night, while I was sleeping, and then I felt throbbing and then just a lot of pain, I felt maybe I just pushed too much. And generally, what I do is every morning I sit 1 hour. So my question is, I'm a beginner. Should I just sit only for 1 hour? Or after sitting 1 hour, should I try more and sit longer? Thank you.
If you can, sitting longer is very good for you. But make sure that you pace yourself. Don't overdo it, and make sure you walk enough so that your body can recover. There's no need to go to extremes. I would break it, I would increase it gradually. I would not go crazy at all. Okay? So it's great that you are able to sit longer and longer, so keep it up. The one thing that all of you could do, if you have a chance, is to try to break through once a week. That's all. Okay, once you break through, you can take some time off so that your legs can recover. Don't do it again until your legs are fully recovered. All right? Thank you for asking the question. In general, I have designated a Korean programs manager, so let's train her to handle these types of guidances for people, so that you can, in the future, you Sunims in Korea can direct such questions to our Korean programs manager, and if she can't handle it, she can get help from the support people. Okay? Very good. Thank you. Also, I noticed that after a long time, XK seems to have broken through. From the sound of her voice, I could tell that she's broken through. It's nothing to write home about because she's been stuck for 2-3 years. Don't think I don't know. I notice everything. I don't say anything. Okay? So this is actually, in Korea, we have some unsettling things that happen there. I have to let go of a couple of people, and it's very stressful for them. For both the Sangha and the lay people. And apparently it seems to be helpful to this particular Sunim here. Okay? For you, left home people, just because you're in Korea, just because you're away from me, doesn't mean that I don't watch over you. I watch you and see what you do, and if you think you can get away with things, think again. I know, but I don't say anything. Okay, and so it's a test of your sincerity and your honesty. Yeah. You think you can pull wool over my eyes and my assistant's eyes? I urge you to think again. We don't micromanage. Why not? Because a very fundamental issue is profound respect for all of you. I respect you enough to accept you as you are, and I respect you enough not to micromanage you. You know, cultivation is about making choices. Okay? We taught you enough. I gave you the proper fundamentals the last 20 years here in the US and the last several years in Korea. And you have a treasure of instructions for the last 20 years. So take advantage of it, and that's your foundation. And your advantages over me is that when I cultivated, my teacher died already, and his disciples did not and could not understand his teachings. So for me to turn to them for directions or guidance, it's a dead end. Here, I have, in our assemblies, we have a much higher levels of monks and nuns here. And if they can't handle you, I can assist them. So you have a tremendous advantage over my generation. So use it, okay? And because of that, I will not push it upon you. I expect you to try your best, and it's all about attitude, okay? Yes, you will find people you disagree, like I did. I looked at my peers and said, you're not that smart, you're not that educated, you haven't done anything in your life. And you're trying to tell me what to do, and you're speaking nonsense. So it's not that. I didn't realize back then that's part of the training. You're supposed to eat caca and not bitch and moan. Because, as I remember, when I was able to sit sleep after 2 years of trying and failing for 2 years, my master finally appeared in my dream and said, get up and cross your legs. And since then, I was able to break through, understand how to sit sleep, what it takes to sit sleep. Okay? And so, part of your training is to take both the good and the bad. That's life. It's not perfect. No one's perfect. We are not perfect. Even my teacher is not perfect. Okay? That's trying our best. Okay? We really sincerely want to help you, guide you as much as we can. And don't worry, as in this slide here, 129, there's a lot more going on than you think. Don't think you're alone. Let's start the Dharma talk, please, the tapes.
所以才说十方同聚会。
That's why it's said, from the 10 directions, gather together.
十方的善男信女，大家聚会到一起，结共小无为。
Good men and faithful women of the 10 directions have gathered together, all together, to learn the unconditioned.
在一起干什么呢？修这个无为法。
What are we doing together? Cultivating this unconditioned Dharma.
咱们这念观世音菩萨也是一种无为法。
This recitation of GuanYin Qi that we do is also a form of unconditioned Dharma.
无为而无不为。
The unconditioned Dharma is unconditioned, yet there is nothing not conditioned by it.
这种无为法，就叫你不要打妄想。
This kind of unconditioned Dharma is just to tell you not to have false thinking.
Okay, let's go over this section here. He says, in his GuanYin Bodhisattva, GuanYin assembly, there are people who gathered from the 10 directions. You have to remember that this was at a very tiny way place, if you can call it a way place. Early days is very poor, had really virtually no support. So he had a semblance of Buddha Hall and a practice. And regardless, when they were organizing as GuanYin Qi here, they had a lot of people coming to join them from all the 10 directions. Why is it so? Because Master Hsuan is very well known. He's a big bodhisattva. So his reputation is very big. So therefore, every time he spoke Dharma, living beings would come and listen to him. Okay? For example, it's not uncommon for the celestial beings, the heavenly beings up there, to come and listen to the Dharma. Okay? And many Dharmas, Dharma masters, they would come and listen to them. But moreover, for Mahasattva of the level of Master Hsuan, not only heavenly beings, but bodhisattvas and other mahasattvas also came to listen to him as well. And of course, when they practice, when they have these assemblies, the Qis, they would come, the bodhisattva would come of different types. Many of them would be to cultivate so that they got help from Master Shinhua, from the assembly, and others would come to help us cultivate. Okay? You can rest assured that when we cultivate, it's a very, very big deal. Our Qis are very, very big deals. That's why they come from 10 directions to cultivate, to support, and to help train you as well. So your time is not in vain, okay? And those invisible beings, there's a lot more than you imagine. And they are working very hard as well. And when I was at the City 10,000 Buddhas and Master Shenhua's temples, when we cultivated, when I myself and other of my co-cultivators cultivated over there, the bodhisattvas came to teach us. Because they came, and for example, this one bodhisattva, co-cultivator of mine, he was reciting a Buddha's name. And then all of a sudden, next to him, he's just standing in the back. And all of a sudden, there's a Chinese guy, standing right next to him. And then he taught him how to recite properly. Okay? And so when he tried it, he realized it unblocked some chi blockages in his body. Okay? And when I was in trouble myself and was beaten up by Master Shinhua disciples, actually Bodhisattva came to me and taught me how to take a beating and not get hurt. So you should have faith. I have faith because if you really want to cultivate, we have a very inconceivable network of teachers to assist your cultivation and assist us in training you. Rest assured, that's the case. Okay, so because they used Master Shinhua used to beat up on me day in day out. They didn't like me, so they brutalized me with their spiritual powers. So and I took it, never complained. Okay, never whined, never called Master Shinhua. Why is it your disciples are beating up on me? Or what kind of monk is that? They beat up on the idiots and the arrogant people. You don't do that, And I never complained. So eventually, when I was at the end of my rope, a bodhisattva taught me how to take a beating. Guess who bodhisattva it is? He's right behind me. You have one guess, that's all. There aren't many bodhisattvas behind me. Yes, two.
Great strength, bodhisattva.
What about you, the other men?
Sixth patriarch.
Anyone else? Let's give women a chance. 7.
Dạ thưa thầy, Phổ Hiền, ngài Phổ Hiền. Universal Bodhisattva.
I was waving for translation. Anyone else? Yes, in the back.
Master, you used to say Weito Bodhisattva.
Weito Bodhisattva. If you cultivate, Weito will come and protect you and help you. Okay, Weito's vows is that if any of you practices in a way place, he will come and protect you and help you. All of you. So don't whine, say, how come it's so bad, how come it's so difficult? Okay? You'll be helped when it's time for you to be helped. Believe. How come you've been helped yet? You don't deserve to be helped. Not yet. You haven't earned it yet. Time is not ripe yet. Okay, so that's why it's wonderful, let me tell you. So these qis are very big deals. Very, very big deals. That's why the Chinese culture, I can't stress it enough, it's not here in this country. Chinese culture, whenever, a monk organizes a qi for 10 years, 20 years, and so forth, okay, they have the track record because every time you organize a qi, you have a lot of problems. They attack you from inside out. And you go crazy, your people go crazy, and eventually say, I don't have the manpower to handle this. Okay? Or the expression is so much that the organizers begin to mess with the Dharma itself, like my master's temples. The Chanchi, for example, traditionally for us is from 3 until midnight. Okay? Now it's like, what is it? Go for us. Is it like 9 o'clock or something? 7 or 9 o'clock?
Beautiful, Master. Now it starts at 4 o'clock in the morning, and then we have a long break in the afternoon from 2 to 5. And then 8 o'clock we have Dhamma talk till 9, and that's it.
Dhamma talk meaning on the tapes.
Yeah, on the tape and okay. Translation.
Because none of them understands Chan. Yes. So anyway, you see, when you don't understand yet, you should know better than modify the instructions of a great teacher like Master Shenhua. It's taboo. It's so stupid to do that. I would rather if it's 3 o'clock, we've been doing it at 3 o'clock. If no one shows up, we stop doing it. It's not because we're not willing to do it, it's because you cannot do it. You got that? Okay. So in China, because it's very difficult to do this, to organize a qis year after year after year. Okay, so with that kind of reputation, like Gao Min-tzu, that famous Chan temple there, they get a lot of support, and people to go there to practice. Okay, and so in China the system is really, really advanced. It's very, very special. Okay, and until we have the equivalent here in the U.S., Chan cannot prosper. Okay, so you maintain that level of training, the intensity, instead of messing with it. And what you have here is a not original Chan. Let's be nice. Okay? And because you do that, beings of the 10 directions will come and participate and help. That's what really happens. Good men and faithful women of 10 directions have gathered together, all together to learn the unconditioned. Okay. And so for us mortals, that's why he calls us as good men and faithful women. I don't know why the Chinese, when he chose to speak of good men and faithful women, it has a reason, I'm sure, but I'm not sure. Okay, well, the real reason behind it. So Master Hsuan is he reacts to people. So he says, good men, meaning to me, my guess is that there's a lot of good men there. Men, good-hearted men there. And faithful women, there's also women who really believed as well. The men didn't have faith, but the women had faith. Okay? Yeah. For some reason, still don't know why. Okay? To learn the unconditioned. The unconditioned is a state of mind of cultivating his unconditioned dharma. Unconditioned dharma, like the GuanYin Bodhisattva reciting this Dharma door, of reciting the Bodhisattva's name, is a practice of the unconditioned. Okay? What is this unconditioned here? Master Hsuan explained as the unconditioned is such that is nothing that is not conditioned by it. Got it? Does it help? Wu wei, wu bu wei. Okay. So for wu wei, so you I don't know how to explain this. Okay. But if you, it's unconditioned, meaning that it does not depend on anything. Conditioned meaning that we have conditioned things because from this conditioned thing, it arises from something else. Something else conditions this thing. Something else conditions me, like my parents. Therefore, I am a conditioned Dharma. So far, so good? So you have a causation, you have a chain reaction there. Okay? You look at all the things in the world, they're all conditioned. Is right? Okay? The table is conditioned. Everything you can observe is conditioned. Any problems with that? So what is unconditioned? It's unconditioned because it depends on nothing. How do you depend on nothing? I explained it for you for the first time. I explained unconditioned for you, differently from the Chinese. How do you get to the unconditioned? Because we are conditioned. Everything we see is conditioned. Yes? This was done, was created, was made by clay, by someone, and by another person who sold it to us, another person who bought it, and another person who used it to fill up with water. Okay? So you see, there's so many conditions for this to happen. Okay? It's a network of conditions. So everything we see is conditioned to the nth degree. Okay? So how do you get to the unconditioned? We are conditioned. Our legs are conditioned. Our clothes are conditioned. Our chanho is conditioned. Yes? So how do you get to the unconditioned? Guess 3.
Thank you, Master. I believe you get to the unconditioned by entering samadhi.
Entering samadhi. Not bad. Anyone else? This is the Buddha's wisdom. And the patriarchs understand it. That's why they devise these practices in order to help us get to the unconditioned from the conditioned. Conditioned of the legs, conditioned of your body, conditions of things here in this way place. It's all conditioned. But there's a process that helps you get to the unconditioned. Is that clear? Okay, so there's a methodology behind it. If you use your mind to figure it out, you'll never be able to figure it out. Because you use the mind which is conditioned, right? Your mind was born from your parents. Yes? And then it's conditioned by your teachers. Yes? And so forth. Yes, 3.
From Diego Mitofo Master, when you attain liberation and you see everything is empty.
Everything is empty, okay? Anyone else? Same thing? Okay. Yes, 5.
Master, we follow the 7 principles of our practice.
Follow the 7 principles, okay? That's the way to get back to the unconditioned, yes? Anyone else? That's a good point there. If your mind is conditioned, then you start with the proper fundamentals. Okay? Don't look very far. Wherever you are, you could be a doctor, you could be a politician. There used to be a lot of politicians in China who really appreciated Chan, so they practice Chan. And when they practice Chan, they're not officials, they're not state governors, they're not emperors. They simply are a Chan practitioner. Okay, you forget who you are. Okay, so when you recite GuanYin Bodhisattva, forget about yourself, whoever you are. Okay, a housewife, a teacher, doesn't matter. Forget it. Okay, all you concentrate on is a recitation. Can you do that? Yes, DTT.
와서 저는 실대종지가 아니라 저희가 매일 하는 첫 번째 반연하지 않는 걸로 수행을 하면서 공이 돼 가는 걸로 무의가 될 수 있다고 생각했습니다. 그러니까 제 답은 첫 번째 반연하지 않는 것이 제 답입니다.
So, Master, rather than all 7 principles, 7 guiding principles, I think it's more for not scheming. That's where we start.
Do you scheme?
그러니까 저는 첫 번째 그 반연한다는 거를 약간 남한테 부탁한다, 의지한다는 걸로 그 개념을 받아들였었어요. 네.
I understand as the scheming is more like relying on somebody else.
기본적으로 남한테 부탁하거나 그런 걸 좋아하지 않기 때문에 최대한 반연하지 않도록 노력하고 있습니다. 완벽하다는 뜻은 아닙니다.
I'm not saying that I'm perfect, but I don't like to request things from others or relying on others. So that's why I said the banyan, which is do not scheme.
Very good. You're not perfect. That's correct. But you are almost perfect. You don't believe it? Why not?
마스터 저 되게 마스터 맨날 말씀하셨듯이 어리석고 문제가 많아서 단지 노력할 뿐입니다.
As Master, you mentions all the time, I'm ignorant and I have a lot of problems. So I'm just doing my best.
You're trying your best, but you do it your way, right?
네, 그랬던 것 같아요.
That's
Yes,
why.
I think so.
That's why you're almost perfect. You're not perfect yet because you're doing it your way. Did you get it?
제가
You,
처음에는
you chose to create your own path of cultivation, your own parameters. Like when the abbot here just said, follow the 7 principles, I said, I agree. And you said, no, I disagree. I should think it's not about scheming. Aren't you creating a new pathway to get to the unconditioned? Okay, 7.
Do every good thing, but don't stop in there. Yeah. Come be.
Oh, I don't have to wait for translation. Okay? Fundamentals. Okay? You hear, because this environment is environmental cultivation. Those are some rules here for cultivation, some guidelines for cultivation. You just follow them. Don't have to think so much. You don't have to say, I don't like this, I don't like that. Just follow the rules, follow the regulations, follow the instructions. It's that simple. This is why we call it Qi. A Qi because you're here to follow instructions. You don't need to create anything new. Look around you. There are lots of people who are better than you. Why are they better? Because, as I told you, they forgot who they are. They're not an architect. They're not a businessman. They're not a professor. They simply are a person following the instructions to cultivate. They are nobody. Just like that Sunim there, I said, after 3 years, at least 2 or 3, that she chose to, like a smart aleck, she chose to pick and choose. I like this, I like that, and when I don't like it, I will sneak around, go around obstructions. That's what I used to do, by the way. At my master's temple for 4 years. So I speak from experience. Just to knock him and say, you think you're smart? I'm smarter than you. I get around you. Pretty sick. Okay? Yeah. So, I don't care where you came from. You came from your Vietnamese master. You train with Sri Lankans or Thai or Chinese or Taiwanese. All that is good for you. But as long as you're here, just follow the instructions here and see what happens. You made the effort to come here already. Okay? So your job is to constantly ask yourself, I know the 7 principles. How good am I at following them, of observing them when I'm here, when I'm cultivating? That's the fundamentals. Without the fundamentals, without the foundation, you cannot get to the unconditioned. You're always looking for something extraordinary. Oh, someone has a miracle, he's able to see this and see that. Those are idiots. If you see things and you want to talk about it, you really are an idiot. Because you really have any wisdom to see is like not seeing at all. And yet, to you, such a big deal. This is why these people are stuck. All day, they look and look and look and talk about, oh, you should be doing this, you should be doing that. I see this, I see that. You know, I'm so special that invisible being tells me things about, you know, this person and that person, this thing and that thing. Who gives a damn? It's none of your business. You're taught, you're trained to look at yourself. Don't look at others. None of your damn business. When are you going to wake up? Huh? There's so many idiots in the assembly who think they're so special because they hear this, they see this. But they can't see themselves. They they need someone to tell them what to see. Yes, 8.
Amitabha, Master. Master, I'm sorry my ignorance and maybe it's embarrassing by all the times that I have come, but I do have a question. What are the 7 principles you're referring to?
Don't fight. Don't harm. Don't fight, don't harm. Don't be greedy. Don't seek. Don't be selfish. That's 4. Don't seek self-benefit. Don't indulge. That's 5. Don't lie. That's a special thing here because the temptation to lie is so strong in all of us and it's very detrimental to our particular practice. And 7, are you practicing kindness and compassion? And the 4 limited minds: kindness, compassion, joy, and renunciation.
Master, right now as you were saying, inside of me I feel like a shaking. Is it because inside of me it identifies with those? And you mentioned compassion. Some people, or even at one point, I believe compassion was a feeling, but lately it has, I don't know for how long, it has kind of changed to a state rather than a feeling. Something like it's the being, like the true nature of the person. Will you expand on the compassion? Thank you.
I don't know what you're talking about.
So I do not know why I felt that, as you were mentioning them, I felt like this shaking inside. So I don't know what that reaction came from. But then lately I have been, for some reason it keeps on coming, the word compassion. And so I'm questioning to myself what true compassion is. I guess that's my core question. Maybe there is a doubt, and maybe I don't have it clear.
True compassion is something you cannot understand. Right now, the only way for you to get there is to memorize it. You're supposed to be practicing compassion. That's all you have. And one day, then you understand what it means. To try your best to be compassionate. That's all you have. You ask yourself, if I'm told that I don't understand compassion, then the real question should be, can I be more compassionate? I need to be more compassionate. This is not a college where you go and you get the right answer for you to pass the test. For you to understand compassion would take a long time.
Thank you, Master. Actually, it's very helpful. At my level, how can I practice more compassion?
It's a question you should ask yourself. You don't ask me. It's your life. Cultivation by you asking yourself, can I do more? That's the spirit.
Thank you, Master.
Anyone else? Yes, too.
Can you, Master, would you expound on renunciation? How we can practice that?
Renunciation, as it says, can you let go? Start letting go.
How do we decide what to practice letting go?
Letting go of the things that are difficult for you to let go when it benefits others.
Thank you.
Okay, this is something you can expound on, Master Z and XX and so forth. You can explain more to people about this. Okay. I provide the general guidelines. I provide you the big picture, and you have a lot of people here who is at the level who can give you more details, and they're being trained to explain it to you. Okay, I could explain everything, but then they will never learn. Only you can learn. All right. Where are we? The unconditioned. Okay. So he says here, Master Shinhua says, to recite GuanYin Bodhisattva like you've been doing the last couple of days is practicing the unconditioned. Yes, that's correct. Okay. So what's the meaning of that? Meaning of that is this is the truth behind the objective behind all forms of cultivation in Mahayana. Unlike Hinayana, they don't practice the unconditioned. Okay? We practice unconditioned, not just the unconditioned, but the unconditioned such that nothing that's not conditioned by it. Okay? Hinayana, people, they understand the word unconditioned, but they don't understand yet nothing that's not conditioned by it. This is why he says there's nothing that's conditioned by it. Okay, if you look at the Hinayana teachings, Hinayana explanation, Hinayana teachers, there's no such a phrase here. And this phrase is very important. This phrase is what differentiates Mahayana from Hinayana. Now, of course, you don't understand it. Even if you don't understand it, you should feel yourself extremely blessed to be able to hear this phrase here. There's nothing that's not conditioned by it. Just like you should be so lucky to feel you're so lucky that you heard of the 4 limitless minds of kindness, compassion, joy, and renunciation, even if you don't understand it yet. Okay? If it's taught to you, meaning it's very, very important. You don't understand it, shelve it, and get more information later. Okay? That's what cultivation is about. You cannot understand everything. And so, nothing that's not conditioned by it. And this is the ultimate unconditioned. Where the unconditioned that Hinayana people understand. And I want you to memorize. If you're Chinese, memorize Wu Wei, Bu Wei. Okay? You memorize it, that's all. Okay? Now, and you're English, you're Vietnamese, and you memorize in whatever language you want. But it's important for you to memorize these sound principles because they will help you understand them in the future, I promise you. Okay? Don't reject them. Don't say, I don't understand what they're talking about. If this great sage like Master Shenhua took the time to explain it to us like this, it's because it's important for us. All right? And so how do you get to the unconditioned? Okay, with all these practices. Fundamentally, you need the foundation, the proper rules and regulations and proper procedures and so forth. Okay, but eventually, this practice here is about making you think less. If you follow the 7 principles, they will help you think less. So you don't need to be here. You can go home. And if you live within the 7 principles, it will help you think less. But when you hear this environment is a lot more intensive, and therefore it makes it easier for you to think less. So far, so good. So that's why there's a difference. It doesn't stop here, okay? It doesn't stop here in this Buddha hall. You go from here to the dining area. You go down there to the restroom. Go get some tea, have a drink, okay? Now, you leave this hall of the unconditioned, you walk out of there, you continue by reciting the Bodhisattva's name. Then you're still practicing the unconditioned wherever you are, okay? And that's when you drill it like that. When you go home, you do the same thing. When you have time, okay, recite the Bodhisattva's name. You're doing the unconditioned for that moment. It's that simple, okay? And when you do that, eventually you notice that you have less false thinking, okay? And basically, it goes back to why we're doing this. It goes back to, yes, 3.
So, YouTube question from Celery. Hi, Master. Sao Hong from Shanghai is asking how to understand no seek as we have so many seekings in our daily life.
Very good. No seeking. No seeking. Seeking here, what Master Shenhua refers to no seeking there is basically seeking a partner. Any problems? You know, when we talk to the Westerners, they get offended. They say, seeking the opposite sex is what we do. It's sacred. And we're not supposed to. You're not supposed to at the temple. When you leave the temple, it's okay. It's a time where you suspend it temporarily. Does it help? It's only temporary. It makes seeking after much more intense. Or you can choose to take a break, walk to the park and look. Okay? But it's about be conscious of where you are, why you're here. Okay, you're here because while you're here, observe the 7 principles, no seeking. Okay? That's number 1. Okay, that's very coarse, but that's innate in all of us. We all like to look, don't we? Okay? That's what you do regardless, whether I tell you not to or not, it doesn't matter, you look anyway. Okay? I know that. Okay? So why do we tell you? It's about you make a choice. Okay? You happen to like to look. And you know you will fail the test. You're seeking. Okay? So you make up for it. Okay? I'm talking in very practical terms. There's no way for me to tell you not to seek. I know that. Okay? But if you seek, then compensate. Okay? That's what cultivation is about. Don't deny. I threw out a Korean sunim because he denied it. He pretended. And after a while I said, you going to tell me or not? Anyway, since he's no interest in telling me the truth, get out. You think you can pull wool over my eyes? How long you think? I'm just waiting to see how long is he gonna, what kind of person would do that? Eat my rice, take my money, wear my clothes? What kind of person is that? Once I determine that this is kind of person, I have no problem throwing him out. Yes, sir, in the back. No hesitation.
Master, how do we compensate for that? When you say we know that we're all looking for, especially this Qi, there's a lot of people coming, and then we have to mingle.
We have eyes. We keen at looking things. That's normal. How do you compensate? I don't know. Some people like to beat themselves. Some people sleep. Some people, they say, I don't deserve to eat today. I don't know you. It's your choice. That's what cultivation's about. You have to be true to yourself. You're not doing for me. I have no interest. You do it for me, I got bored. You do it for yourself. You find meaning in your own actions, on your true actions. Okay? Yeah. So the non-seeking there, that's first level, is you brain it in, okay? Let me put it that way for you. But the one thing you can do that's very important for you to consider as well is if you find yourself seeking, any form of seeking, we just gave you the example of looking. Look too much as you want to put it, too much look. Okay? And you find it very difficult to do, not to do. Then you compensate by not seeking other things that are, let's say, of second importance to you. If looking, that too much look is important to you and you cannot control yourself, I understand, okay? But then look for, then try to not to seek the second biggest deal for you, okay? Like money, like fame, like attention, stuff like that. Okay? It helps. When you do the second, then it helps reduce the number one. You find out. All right? And when you do that, okay, when you do to follow these instructions here, this environment here, it will reduce, will lessen your thoughts, okay? And as I said, this is based on how the Buddha trained his disciples, his first level disciples, his 1,255 people, bhikshus there, and bhikshunis as well. And so what they did, it was that to eventually bring them to the level where they have no more thoughts. When your mind is free from thoughts, that mind is called unconditioned mind. Okay? Or emptiness. So that's why I said in the Hinayana, they get to that unconditioned where they empty the mind. And many of you are able to do that. But many of you are not able to see nothing that's not conditioned by it yet. Got it? Okay, so this is a very simple thing here. Master Sheo explained in 2 sentences here. Took me about half an hour to explain to you. But this is such a gift from Master Sheo to help us see the big picture. Okay, and I commend you for being able to be challenging enough for me to explain it to you. Okay. All right. Anyone else? That's fundamental to the Buddhist teachings. All we do, everything we do here in Mahayana is to bring you to the unconditioned. And when you're there, you see that nothing that's not conditioned by it. So don't stop yet until you realize its state. Okay? Don't stop prematurely. It's a lot for all of you to learn. All of us to learn. Okay. This is the next section, isn't it? Okay. Take it away. GMT
你念观世音菩萨，观世音菩萨也念你。
Stop. And JMT has a question.
네, 광호님 질문입니다. 무위, 이무위와 무상, 비무상은 동일한 뜻일까요? 비무상, 무상, no mark, yeah. 무상은 no mark인 것 같고 비무상은 저도 모르겠습니다.
Yeah, you could say that is another way to express this is no mark, and yet nothing's without mark.
Thank you, Master.
That's another angle to look at it, okay? But this is more scholarly. The people who research Buddhism who would speak like this, let's say the Buddhology professors or the people who read such papers and such materials would use these words. They would not use the word no mark, and yet nothing is without marks, because they don't understand the actual meaning of this section here, unconditioned, and yet nothing's not conditioned. So that's why this is more scholarly, if you will. You talk to professors, the Buddhology department, this is what they would tell you, would talk to you about, not knowing what it means. Okay. Okay, continue, please.
你念南无观世音菩萨，你念观世音菩萨，观世音菩萨也念你，彼此互念。
You recite Namo GuanYin Pusa. You are mindful of GuanYin Bodhisattva. GuanYin Bodhisattva is also mindful of you. Both of you are mindful of each other.
也就好像你想你的亲戚，你亲戚也就想你。
It is just like when you think about your relative, and your relative also thinks about you.
俺们和观世音菩萨是无量劫以来这个法眷属，是法亲。
We and GuanYin Bodhisattva, from limitless eons in the past, have been connected as a Dharma family. We are Dharma relatives.
从什么地方论呢？从阿弥陀佛那儿论。
Where do we begin the discussion? We begin with Amitabha Buddha.
阿弥陀佛是西方极乐世界的教主，也就是观世音菩萨的师父。
Amitabha Buddha is the teaching host of the Western Pure Land of ultimate bliss, and also the master of GuanYin Bodhisattva.
观世音菩萨就是帮助阿弥陀佛来弘扬净土法门的
GuanYin Bodhisattva is
一位
one.
菩萨。
GuanYin Bodhisattva is one bodhisattva who assists Amitabha Buddha in propagating the Pure Land Dharma door.
大势至菩萨也是其中的一位菩萨。
Great Strength Bodhisattva is also one of the bodhisattvas, who assist Amitabha Buddha in propagating the Pureland Dharma door.
俺们念南无阿弥陀佛，就会往生到极乐世界，以这个阿弥陀佛做我们的师父，做我们接引的导师。
We recite Namo Amitofo, we will be reborn into the land of ultimate bliss, taking this Amitabha Buddha, as our master, as the teacher who guides us.
菩萨是阿弥陀佛的弟子，因为这种关系呀，俺们和观世音菩萨都是法兄弟。
GuanYin Bodhisattva is a disciple of Amitabha Buddha. Because of this kind of relationship, we and GuanYin Bodhisattva are all Dharma brothers.
观音菩萨就是我们没有升到极乐世界一切众生的一个哥哥。
GuanYin Bodhisattva is an elder brother to all living beings who have yet to be reborn in the land of ultimate bliss.
俺们是他一个弟弟。俺们这样说起来呀，俺们这是很近的亲戚。
We are one of his younger brothers, so, put in this way, we are actually very close relatives.
所以呀，俺们想俺们这个亲戚，亲兄弟，俺们兄弟呀，这哥哥在那儿也就想弟弟。
So we think about this relative of ours, this brother, our brother, this elder brother over there, is also just thinking about his younger brothers.
俺们就是观世音菩萨的弟弟，观世音菩萨就是我们的哥哥。
We are GuanYin Bodhisattva's younger brothers, and GuanYin Bodhisattva is our elder brother.
他们说观世音菩萨怎么会是我们的哥哥？那不是太高攀了吗？不是的。
Are you saying, how could GuanYin Bodhisattva be our elder brother? So aren't we way overestimating our status? No, we are not.
观世音菩萨不单拿我们当弟弟，拿所有的一切众生都当他的弟弟。
Not only does GuanYin Bodhisattva regard us as his younger brothers, he takes all living beings, all of them, as his younger brothers.
要不然的时候，他为什么要寻声救苦呢？
If that weren't the case, then why would he seek out cries and rescue those in suffering?
他为什么要所有的众生有什么困难，他就帮助呢？
Why does he want to? Whenever all living beings have any difficulties, he just helps.
他就看一切众生是他的手足一样，是他的骨肉。
He just sees all living beings the same as his siblings. They are his children.
所以他才这样啊，不怕一切的困苦艰难，而来呀救度俺们在这个娑婆世界这个苦众生。
Therefore, that is the reason he is like this. He is not afraid of all hardships and difficulties, but instead comes to save and cross over us living beings who are suffering in the Saha world.
所以呀，各位不要忘了自己这个法兄弟。
Therefore, each one of us, don't forget this Dharma brother of ours.
俺们这儿一念观世音菩萨，观世音菩萨也就念俺们了。
We here in the Saha world, the moment we recite GuanYin Qi, GuanYin Bodhisattva is also mindful of us.
俺们叫一声观世音菩萨，里边呢包含就是哥哥。
Each call we make to GuanYin Bodhisattva, within this call, it already carries the meaning of calling elder brother.
观世音菩萨就叫一声俺们这个未来的菩萨，未来的佛，这个小弟弟。你要能这样。
In return, GuanYin Bodhisattva makes a call out to us, this future Bodhisattva, the future Buddha, this little younger brother.
看，这念观世音菩萨更应该呀诚心，更应该呀亲切念。
If you are able to look at it in this way, while reciting GuanYin Bodhisattva, you should be even more sincere, even more cordial.
就像念俺们自己的兄弟一样，是吧？英文叫old brother, you with me go to play.
You should recite GuanYin Bodhisattva just like, it's like calling our own brother. It's like saying, in English, older brother, you with me, go to play.
那么你这样想他说什么 play 呢？不是说去看戏、看电影。就是也不是去滑雪、打球。
So you think in this way, go to play what? I don't mean going to an opera or watching a movie. It's also not about skiing or playing ball.
俺们到那儿坐到莲花上，在莲花化身，你看那个莲花，坐到莲花上。那有多妙。
We go there, sit on a lotus, transform from the lotus. Look at that lotus, sitting on top of a lotus. How wonderful that is.
Okay. That's a lot. Do we have enough time? It's a lot of brotherhood here. Buddhist brotherhood. It's too much. Okay, false thinking. Okay, so how do we reduce our false thinking? We recite GuanYin Bodhisattva's name, and he says here, when we recite, meaning we're thinking of him, when we think of her, then she also thinks of us. Okay, and it's true. When you recite GuanYin Bodhisattva's name, amazingly, she knows that you're reciting her name. That's a fact. That's why she said, oh, that one there, she recited my name as my sister there. According to Master Shenhua, okay, I wouldn't say it like that, but that's my sister, my sister, my sister, my sister. No mother, okay? They're all sisters and brothers, okay? And so it's just think about it. When you recite GuanYin Bodhisattva, okay, she knows that you recited her name. Even though when you're not serious, she also knows that. Okay? And Master Srinivas explains it to his disciples. Think of it as her as your relative. You think of your relative thinks of you. It's probably not true in America. You think your relatives don't want to think of you. Or the Vietnamese, you think of your relative, oh, she's thinking of borrowing money from me. Okay, so for limitless aeons, we've been connected as Dharma family, as Dharma relatives. Remember, we talked last night about the fact you're able to come together, gather, and cultivate this Dharma door. We've been doing it. You don't realize we've been doing it for a long, long time. A lot longer than you can imagine. You just forgot, because right now you're so full of yourself. You think you're special. But if you go back, way back then, you see that you're a lot more adorable. So that's why what helps when GuanYin Bodhisattva looks back and says, oh, I can forgive you now because back then you're a lot more adorable. Okay? So how did it start? That's what he means. He says, how did it begin? How shall I begin to explain to you this? Okay? And it started with Amitabha Buddha. He says, okay? Amitabha Buddha, he's introducing this Amitabha Buddha as the teaching host of the Western Bliss Pureland and also the teacher of GuanYin Bodhisattva. It's true. Amitabha Buddha, a long time ago, was a king, and he had a lot of children, a lot more than we can count. Something like 48,000. See, my nuns like it. Okay, 48,000 children. He lived for a long, long time. And then he did many great things. He's a great emperor and so forth. And one day he said, this is no longer challenging. I'm going to cultivate as the culmination of my life. All the challenges, all the things I accomplished really are no longer challenging. So let me cultivate and become a Buddha. Okay, so he left the home life and cultivated. And when he left, 10 of his best children, sons, no women, followed him. Okay? And one of them was GuanYin Bodhisattva. Who's the other? Great Strength Bodhisattva. Yeah. Universal Bodhisattva. Manjushri Bodhisattva. What else? You forgot already? Earth-store Bodhisattva. Okay, you can count up to 10. Okay, see, small world. Isn't it fascinating? So all the Bodhisattvas here, even Shakyamuni Buddha, is one of the 10. Yeah. The brother of the king? Yeah, he's a brother too. They're all brothers and sisters. Okay. Yeah, so anyway, so that's why they took refuge with Amitabha Buddha, so that's why they were disciples of the Buddha, Amitabha Buddha. We are also disciples of Amitabha Buddha as well. Is that clear? Okay. Now, as a side note, it's true that you are disciples of Amitabha Buddha. You're also disciples of GuanYin Bodhisattva. You're also disciples of Manjushri Bodhisattva. So you don't need to be my disciple. All you have to do is now I introduce you to them. You can simply ask them to be your teacher, and I can retire. Yes, in the back.
Master, in this same consequence, this same idea, does it mean that all of your left home disciples used to be your son, your daughter in the past?
Some of them, yeah. Yes, YouTube. The ones who are not Republicans are most likely my children. The ones who are Republicans, probably nieces and nephews.
현미님 질문입니다. 약사열의 부처님도 아미타 부처님의 자식이었을까요?
Master, from Korean YouTube, Sunmi is asking if the medicine master Buddha was also son or daughter of Amitabha.
I don't know. I did not read his name in that list of 10 big disciples of Amitabha Buddha. I don't think he is. Okay, it's a different story. Not at all. Not from what I know. Okay, it's a parallel thing. Amitabha Buddha is a big shot, but Medicine Master Buddha is also very, very big shot. Okay, so they have different pathways, and that's why sunlight Bodhisattva and moonlight Bodhisattva are the equivalent of one yin and great strength. They are very, very powerful. They all are Buddhas. Okay, so what happened is those 10 favorite sons of Amitabha Buddha follow him, and they cultivated and supported Amitabha Buddha's cultivation, and they went through many lifetimes to do that. And eventually, Amitabha Buddha became a Buddha, and then eventually later, the other 10 also became Buddhas. And after that, okay, even though they're Buddhas, they still appear as a Bodhisattva, as a lower level, to support Amitabha Buddha. Okay, so that's the nature of relationships. They go way back. Okay, just like us, we go way back. Okay, at least those of you who believe. Okay, and so GuanYin Bodhisattva now is helping Amitabha Buddha by bringing people to the Pureland. So you recite her name, GuanYin Bodhisattva's name. You can also attain rebirth to the Pureland as well. Okay? And so he says here, elder brother, all living beings are not yet to be reborn or learn ultimate bliss. He's in his way introducing a concept to these Westerners that there's another world called the ultimate bliss where you want to be reborn there. Okay, and this is why we recite GuanYin Bodhisattva's name. And furthermore, continuing on the theme of the brothers and sisters and so forth, relatives, we are close relatives, okay? And you just forgot, that's why you switch parties. And relative of yours, so just thinking younger brothers. So he, I think he's overdoing it, maybe because in American culture where you bond with people by, hey buddy, you look like a 2-year-old, hey buddy, what's happening? Yeah. And you buddy up with a 2-year-old child. Okay, and it tickles a child pink to be your buddy. Yeah. The daddy calls his son, a 5-year-old son, hey buddy, yeah, how are you? Shall we go play together? And this is the same kind of spirit, I think. Nonsense. But for Westerners, it's understandable, okay? You Westerners. Defend yourself. I don't know. I don't understand that mindset. How I never could call, Bao Bao, buddy. I've been coming to my temple several years now, and he'll come and hug me and so forth. Oh, by the way, okay, you people, especially level people, don't touch children. Okay, our insurers remind me that you're not supposed to touch children. Okay? Anyway, he will come and hug me. But for all these years, now his mom lets him do that. But all these years, I never could bring myself to call him, hey, buddy. So, how could GuanYin Bodhisattva be our elder brother? Overestimating our status. I think probably a Chinese disciple had a problem. She's not our brother. I would never dream of. And he said, no, we're not. He not only regarded as a younger brother, but he takes us as living beings, older and younger brothers. It's true in principle that she looks at us as brothers, as sisters, but also as idiots. As everything. So I don't know why he stops at as brothers. I think he's really overdoing it. Okay, and why would he seek out Christ and rescue those in suffering? He's referring to the fact GuanYin Bodhisattva's job is to scan the airwaves, if you will. Like the people here in our country, they scan the police radios, have a radio, and they scan the police frequencies, and they find out, where there's a chase, a helicopter chase or a highway chase and so forth. Okay, and so that's what GuanYin Bodhisattva does. She scans the airwaves and identifies which ones all over the universe needs her help and wants her help. Okay, and then she goes and helps those beings. So why would she do that? That's why he's asking. Why is it whenever they're in difficulty, he just helps? She just helps. Actually, it's not difficulties, not just difficulties. She helps because she sees that you are suffering. This is very important for you to remember. Just because you have difficulties, she probably won't help you. There are plenty of people who can help you, like Great Strength Bodhisattva, will help you when you have some difficulties. But in particular, with GuanYin Bodhisattva, you get her attention when you really are suffering, because she can't stand it when you suffer, sort of. Okay? So her specialty is that when you're suffering, okay, and when you're in pain, you call her. She will come and help you. Yes, 8.
Master, that will be because his level of compassion, like true compassion.
Yeah, because she personifies great compassion. Okay, great compassion means that if you're suffering, if she sees you suffering, it's the same as she's suffering. Meaning that whatever you suffer, she suffers the same thing, exact same thing, no difference. That's called great compassion. So that's way beyond your state, way beyond what you can understand. How is it possible that someone suffers and she looks at that and says, I'm suffering the same thing, same exact thing? Okay? So that's the kind of state that she has. It's called great compassion. The state of great compassion is that when you look at someone suffering, you are suffering the same thing. No difference. And it's so hard for me, personally, because when I see people crossing their legs and suffer, I fail to see why they're suffering. Yes, 7.
Con có một cái story mà không biết là như thế nào. Hồi đó khoảng 30 năm về trước á, là lúc con đi mua cái bàn thờ để thờ Phật. Thì trong cái tiệm bàn thờ họ để nhiều cái tượng Quan Âm rất là nhiều luôn. Nhưng mà con tự nhiên con đi đến một cái tượng Quan Âm, con đứng, cái con khóc. Con nói: Đức Quan Thế Âm Bồ Tát ơi, sao mà chúng sanh khổ quá, Ngài có thể giúp chúng sanh được hay không? Thì con khóc với Ngài ngay chỗ cái tượng đó. Thì sau khi con mua cái bàn thờ á, thì con vừa mua xong thì cái cô chủ đó, cô đem cái tượng đó, cô đưa cho con. Cô nói đem về thờ đi. Thì con nói cô nói thiệt không? Cô nói thiệt mà, đem về thờ đi. Thì là cái tượng đó con thờ đến bây giờ mà con không biết là cái nghĩa sao, con không hiểu.
Okay, translate for her. I'm running out of time.
Amitabha Master, I have a story. 30 years ago, I went to a shop that's selling the Buddha statue and a lot of GuanYin statue. And so I stand in front of a particular statue and then I cry out and say, living beings are suffering so much, please help them, please help us. And so I came back home and I just established my altar, and all of a sudden the owner of the shop came over and give me the statue, that particular statue that I cry over, and I still keeping it and worship that statue until now, today. I don't know if there's anything related.
Okay. Anyone has any idea? I know exactly why. But anyone, I give you a chance. Quickly, what do you think? Why do you think that shop owner gave her the GuanYin statue? Quickly, come on. Yes, 3.
Conditions.
Conditions, very good. Anyone else? What kind of conditions? Yes, too.
Propaganda. She was going to speak about GuanYin and where she got the GuanYin statue from.
Not bad. 8.
She really needed help.
Okay, anyone else? You're all boring. I can't stand it. How can you cultivate like this? Because she overcharged her. She felt guilty. She expected her to haggle. When you go to Vietnam shop, this is remind for you tourists. When they say 1,000, you say 300. This woman didn't haggle. That's why, oh my God, what do I do now? So that's why she gave the GuanYin statue. Got that? Okay. Okay, it's too much left. Can we stop here tonight? And we continue tomorrow night. Thank you, everyone.